2025, Louis Koo's latest crime film. Private detective investigates infidelity and uncovers a shocking murder case. Oh Young is a private detective specializing in cheating investigations. I want you to look into someone. Woman, around 30. Her name is Kwon Wing Yan. The moment he saw the photo, Oh Young almost lost it. Isn't this my wife? What's your relationship with her? She's my girlfriend. The client suspected his girlfriend of cheating and asked Oh Young to find the man she's cheating with. But Oh Young only wanted to know, like whether they've slept together or something like that. The client answered all of Oh Young's questions one by one. Oh Young felt completely cuckolded. Still, he ended up taking the case anyway. Our agency will do our best, but no guarantees. Oh Young figured he might get exposed by his wife. So he sent two of his assistants to follow the case. Seriously, are you okay with hearing whatever we find? I'm afraid you can't handle the truth. Oh Young braced himself for anything and didn't forget to check on his other two cases. First one, missing person plus cheating. 6 days ago, Wang Jiawen's fiancé suspected she was cheating. They had a huge fight. After that, she took a week off from work and vanished. He couldn't reach her at all, so he turned to Oh Young for help. So you want me to find your girlfriend? See if she's hiding at the other guy's place? Is that it? Yes. Second case is just cheating. Claw Bro approached Oh Young. He said his boss, Sha Chui, wanted to check if his woman, Betty, was cheating. All right, give me the info. At the same time, the police received a report. A woman named Lee Yuna was found dead. And a few months ago, she had reported her husband, saying he had been abusing her. Turns out her husband was a senior officer, but unexpectedly, the night Lee Yuna was murdered, her husband was gambling all night at the casino. He had a solid alibi. However, the police did get a lead. They contacted a resident on the hill who had surveillance cameras and agreed to hand over the footage. Meanwhile, while tailing Betty, Oh Young bumped into another PI, number 2. Only then did he realize Clawbro had actually hired both him and number 2 to investigate Betty. People really are untrustworthy. Oh Young sighed deeply. But the next second he leaned in and asked number 2, if someone told you your wife was cheating, would you investigate? Nope. Oh Young was shocked, but number 2 said, if you investigate, it means you don't trust your wife. And if you don't trust her, then whether she is or isn't, what difference does it make? Sometimes it's better to not know, not think, not ask. That's how to stay happy. Oh Young was deeply moved, but he didn't let it affect his work. He quickly got video evidence of Betty cheating and went straight to confront her. He showed her the video. Who's your boyfriend? Sha Chui.
I don't want anyone dying just because I got paid. Think about it. But Betty didn't care. She straight up said if Oh Young gave the video to her boyfriend Sha Chui, she'd tell Sha Chui Oh Young tried to blackmail her into sleeping with him. If I'm going down, you're going down with me. Simple as that. Oh Yang let out a bitter laugh, then suddenly got a call from his romantic rival. Any progress? Not yet. Oh Yang held back his anger until he got shocking news that his rival was about to get a room with his wife. He nearly exploded. But calming himself down, he messaged his wife right away, saying he'd be at a friend's place watching a soccer match all night, hoping to catch her red-handed. Suddenly, Oh Yang received intel on Wang Jiawen's location. He rushed over right away, but not long after, a guy in a cap showed up. He had also found Wang Jiawen. Oh Yang quickly snapped a photo of his license plate. Just then, he got another call. Your wife just checked into a hotel with that guy. I'll send you the name. Oh Yang was furious. He rushed to the hotel. Sure enough, he caught his wife in the act, but she showed no sign of panic. Oh Yang grabbed his wife and took her away. On the way, the two had a huge argument. She bluntly told Oh Yang she was disappointed in him. In that moment, I really wished you'd just slap me dead or beat the guy up. I'd rather you do that, but you didn't. Oh Yang let out a bitter laugh. So what? This is still somehow his fault? And then, the next second, his wife said, the reason she did all this was because she wanted to have a baby. I'm 38. If I don't give birth now, I might never be able to. Oh Yang was speechless. They were dirt poor. Who would raise the baby? But then, As soon as he said that, his wife blamed him for not changing jobs. Yang was fuming. This is the only thing he knows, investigating cases. But the problem is, they weren't in Hong Kong anymore. Now he was stuck looking for missing pets or catching cheaters. He was frustrated too. You know how good I was. People the cops couldn't find, I could find. Rich folks skipped the cops and came to me. Turns out, Yang used to be a top private eye, but his mother-in-law couldn't accept her daughter marrying someone in Hong Kong, so he left everything behind, gave up his entire career in Hong Kong. Yang felt like he was going insane. Then his wife bluntly asked for a divorce. Just remember, this decision today, it's yours, not mine. Yang turned and walked away. His wife honked the horn like crazy, but he never looked back once. After that, Yang went to a bar to drown his sorrows and happened to run into Betty. He tried to convince her to sit and talk and tell Sha Chui the truth, but instead, Betty told him something unexpected. Actually, when Yang showed her the video that day, she was thinking he might as well have handed it directly to Sha Chui. I wanted to see how he'd react after watching it, or if he would react at all, or maybe he wouldn't react at all.
Turns out Sha Chui, being a triad member, was constantly cheating around Dak and Betty's affair.
Was actually her way of getting back at him. She just wanted that someone would truly listen when she spoke. Meanwhile, the police discovered another murder case. The victim was the same citizen who offered to provide surveillance footage. And even more shockingly, that person was none other than Wang Jiawen. When he heard the news, Yang was stunned. He started wondering if the man in the cap he saw last night, could that have been the killer? Yang was filled with regret, thinking he was just a moment too late to save Wang Jiawen. So he immediately rushed to the police station hoping to offer them some clues. However, it was so dark last night and the man in the cap was fully geared up, so he really had no idea what the guy looked like. But still, I got a photo of his license plate. Unfortunately, the license plate turned out to be fake, and the police were very suspicious of Yang. They suspected he took the money to follow Wang Jiawen. So why would he suddenly leave over something personal? My wife went to a hotel with another man. Of course I rushed off, okay? At that moment, Officer Chen Kongmin looked a bit embarrassed, but he still asked again. Did Yang witness the crime? How long was he there? This made Yang suspicious. On top of that, he noticed Officer Chen and the guy in the cap from last night wiped their sweat the exact same way. A bad feeling crept into his heart. Yang acted calm and quickly left the police station. But right as he was leaving, he realized Officer Chen was watching him closely. Clawbro thought Yang was overthinking it. He's a cop. How could he possibly break the law? Besides just wiping sweat, what does that prove? But Yang's gut told him Chen Kongmin wasn't just anyone. So just to be safe, he moved into Clawbro's place. As for his wife, she had already packed up and left, and even scheduled a Sunday meeting to sign the divorce papers. Back to the point, Yang felt that as a detective, he had to uncover the truth behind Wang Jiawen's death. Clawbro warned him to think about his own safety, but Yang didn't care one bit. Speaking of which, you can tell me about Betty now. Seeing how eager Clawbro was to know about Betty, Yang suddenly realized he must have had a fling with Betty too. What guts, to hook up with the boss's woman. Yang gave the cheating video of Betty to Clawbro. Clawbro nearly exploded with rage. Slut! Whatever. Bastard! Yang didn't care about their messy drama. He turned his attention to checking the call records of Wang Jiawen and Chen Kongmin, and discovered the last call Wang Jiawen made was from the police station. And the very next day, Wang Jiawen was murdered. As for Chen Kongmin, Yang found out he was actually already married. But in recent months, he hadn't made a single call to his wife, and she hadn't made any calls either. Actually, Chen Kongmin's wife was in a car
Accident. She suffered multiple fractures in her head and body, and she's still in a coma.
So, during this period, Chen Kongmin often went to the hospital, desperately hoping his wife would wake up. I can't hold on much longer, okay? Yang felt that Chen Kongmin had seen his face, and continuing surveillance was risky. So he asked number 2 for help to tail Chen Kongmin. But in the end, Chen Kongmin turned out to be extremely dangerous. Not only did he spot number 2 right away, he even secretly stuck a razor blade on number 2's back. If he had made a move, I would have died, without anyone knowing why. Number 2 was terrified. He He absolutely didn't want to tail Chen Kong-min anymore. Oh Young understood. Then he ran off to see his wife. His wife had made up her mind to divorce him and planned to work in Singapore. Oh Young couldn't accept it. Oh Young firmly refused to divorce her. They ended up getting into a big fight, and then, mid-argument, the doorbell suddenly rang. Oh Young saw that it was Chen Kong-min. He quickly shielded his wife, trying to keep him out. "This is between you and me. Don't drag women into it. Then stop following me." Oh Young was so frightened he immediately agreed to let his wife go to Singapore. But then, his wife was genuinely worried about his safety and insisted he come with her. Oh Young agreed. Unexpectedly, that very night, Chen Kong-min sneaked into Oh Young's detective agency and took photos of many of his client files. Oh Young had no idea. He was busy with his wife trying to explain everything. His wife made it clear that actually, even though Oh Young always felt like a failure after leaving Hong Kong, in her eyes, he had always been brilliant. No one dares say you're a failure, except you. Besides, Oh Young's wife actually never cheated on him. That client was someone she paid. The reason she did it was to push Oh Young a little, to make him face their problems. She wanted to know if Oh Young still cared about her, and if he did, why did he always seem so indifferent? However, Oh Young had actually known all along that she hadn't cheated. After all, the photo the client gave him was from 7 years ago, on their wedding anniversary, and he had taken it himself. Meanwhile, Chen Kong-min received news from the hospital. He was told his wife wouldn't make it, and he broke down completely. After all, you can't die. Not before you say sorry to me. You just can't. However, in the end, Chen Kong-min's wife passed away. Stricken with grief, he actually took the initiative to call Oh Young. "What do you want to say?" Turns out Chen Kong-min's wife had cheated on him, and the other man was his best friend. When he found out, he was furious. He chased their car to confront them.
But then the two were guilty and panicked. They didn't dare to stop the car. In the end, the car sped up too much. Combined with the slippery road from the rain, they ended up in a car accident. At that moment, Chen Kang-min nearly lost it. All along, he never wanted them to die, but when he thought about their betrayal, he couldn't contain his anger. So Chen Kang-min snapped. And just then, Lee Yuna came to the police station to report a case. She said her husband hit her. Her husband immediately claimed he only hit her because she cheated on him. That pushed Chen Kang-min over the edge. Taking the opportunity, he killed Lee Yuna. After all, shouldn't traitors deserve to die? Oh Young was stunned. Chen Kang-min then asked him, "Didn't you ever think about killing your wife? Are you crazy? What about Betty then?" Turns out, when he broke into the detective agency, Chen Kang-min discovered Betty was cheating. Now he was planning to go after her too. Oh Young panicked and immediately called Betty and Clawbro, but neither of them picked up. Turns out Clawbro was busy arguing with Betty. He thought even if Betty cheated, she shouldn't have chosen someone from their rival gang. Moreover, Clawbro was drunk, so drunk he couldn't even stand. He was instantly knocked down by Chen Kang-min. Even so, Clawbro tried his best to stop Chen Kang-min from taking Betty. He was almost beaten to death by Chen Kang-min on the spot. Just like that, Oh Young was still a step too late. When Clawbro sobered up, all he remembered was that Chen Kang-min drove a silver car. Luckily, in order to confirm Betty's affair earlier, he had given her a lucky charm with a tracker inside. Hearing this, Oh Young immediately followed the signal. But halfway there, the tracker ran out of battery. Fortunately, Oh Young thought of using nearby dash cams from parked cars to search for the silver car and Chen Kang-min's face. That way, he successfully found Chen Kang-min's hideout. At that moment, Chen Kang-min had already tied Betty up tightly. He even lit a charcoal basin, preparing to die together with Betty. Turns out, after all the emotional torment, Chen Kang-min's mind had already become unstable. He wanted to see Betty as his deceased wife and stage a lover's suicide with her. Meanwhile, in order to bring Chen Kang-min to justice, Oh Young made sure to call Lau before taking action. He asked him to track his current location. He said if 15 minutes passed and he hadn't called, Lau
door should report to the police with the location data. Oh Young cautiously snuck into the house. He quickly followed the blood trail on the floor and discovered the place where Chin Kang-min planned his suicide pact. In order to rescue Betty, he didn't hesitate and broke down the door. He picked Betty up and carried her away. Unexpectedly, the noise woke up Chin Kang-min. Chin Kang-min quickly gave chase, grabbing a dagger and trying to stab Oh Young. But even then, Chin Kang-min refused to give up on killing Oh Young. Fortunately, from inhaling too much carbon dioxide, he had no strength left. Oh Young quickly broke free and tried to leave with Betty, but Chin Kang-min was too obsessed. Seeing them about to raised in war,
Escape, he suddenly lunged forward and tackled them into the swimming pool. Oh Young and Chen Kang-min fought in the pool. In order to get the immobile Betty to safety, Oh Young was wounded again by Chen Kang-min. Just like that, Oh Young lost all strength to move. At that moment, Chen Kang-min started hallucinating. He completely believed Betty was his deceased wife. Memories of their past kept flashing in his mind, and at that moment he suddenly realized he never truly wanted his wife to die. So he pulled Oh Young up from the bottom of the pool. He knew he wouldn't survive this. He only hoped Oh Young could take his wife back safely. "I'm sorry." Hearing that, "I'm sorry," Chen Kang-min finally let go. He allowed himself to sink to the bottom. Then, 3 months passed in a flash. Oh Young was successfully discharged. He wanted to catch up with Claw Bro, but Claw Bro told him that he was now with Betty. It turned out, after seeing how hard Claw Bro fought to save her, Betty realized his love for her was real. And in order to be with Betty openly, Claw Bro even went to speak with their boss. He hoped the boss would support them, for Betty had once been his first love, to give them his blessing. In the end, the boss just turned around and asked, "Which one is Betty again?" Oh Young was stunned, but thinking about it, he was happy for Claw Bro and Betty, truly happy for them. Of course, Oh Young also felt sorry for Wang Jiawen. After all, she didn't actually cheat. She just wanted to help the police with some surveillance footage. But Chen Kang-min, fearing the footage would expose him, killed her on the spot. And moreover, you should know, at that time, Wang Jiawen was about to get married to her fiancé. The next day, Oh Young called his wife and said he wanted to take her out for hot pot. But she had to work overtime. No time at all. Oh Young was absolutely furious. But after going through the divorce incident, he had truly grown. No matter how hungry he was, he would wait to eat with his wife. He now deeply cherished their time together. However, and with that, the film ends. In Behind the Shadows, Louis Koo lost 15 pounds to embody the role. But even so, audience reactions to the film were mixed. Some praised it for its strong Hong Kong flavor, saying it was worth it just for Louis Koo's performance and cinematography. However, others felt it was a total disaster, because, after all, despite being marketed as a crime thriller, the real plot centered around infidelity in marriage. There was little detective suspense, and the characters lacked depth. For instance, the villain Chen Kang-min's revenge motive felt purely functional. Alright, that's the end of today's plot recap. See you next time.